I'm Alan Davies. Welcome to As Yet Untitled. This is the show where we have no preparation or agenda or intro properly written. We do have 4 hugely talented guests, and what we like to do is, during the course of the show, come up with a suitable mantle for tonight's offering. So please, will you welcome our guests? Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Lovely to have you. So, let's see, who do we have? We have Tiff Stevenson is here. Tiff was put to sleep due to her troublesome tongue.
Oh, yeah.
John Robins, welcome back to the show, John. Nice to see you. John performs better without the burden of clothing. John Robins.
Well...
Fantastic to have Reece Shearsmith here. Reece has a difficult relationship with small birds and Tar Macadam, and has a room in his house where the magic happens. And Russell Howard. Fantastic to have Russell with us. Russell has never really been in a band. I understand. So it's very nice to have you. I wanted to ask you, before we do any other talking, it's quite interesting to have you, because you two know each other, don't you? Because you share the flat together with a couple of other people.
Yeah.
And I'm quite interested in you, not ignoring you, Tiff.
That's all right. It's fine.
Just wanted to ask you to... About you, Reece, because you met your 2 mates in the League of Gentlemen.
Yes.
Which, if I may blow smoke up your arse, is one of the best comedy shows of the last 20 years. By miles.
Sweet of you.
Just absolutely love it.
It's incredible.
While you were at college, which I'd sort of hoped would happen to me when I went to college. I didn't meet anyone as clever as you. There wasn't anyone as clever as you.
You were looking around for someone.
You met those 2 lads and you started doing that, but when you were in the flat, you two and 2 other comedians, what my question is why does 3 people like you get together and collaborate and do something all together in one thing, and the 4 of you all in one flat do 4 completely individual things? Do you think there's any...
I think it's probably because stand-up is such a selfish sort of medium. Would you agree?
Well, I'd say mainly you were sort of a functioning alcoholic at that stage.
That's not...
Here we go.
But in a brilliant way. I mean, who wants to see one of my shows? It's 2 in the morning, we're going to go to bed.
Well, to be fair...
You used to pretend to be Rick Mail, it was brilliant.
Well, some might say I still do.
Yeah.
But I went into that house teetotal, and I'd been free from alcohol for a year, and then living with these weasels. One afternoon, someone had cooked a very lovely slow roast lamb, and it demanded a Chardonnay.
Did you move in because you knew he was a stand-up and you were one, and it was
we'd all... But what was great...
Cultivate it.
Yeah, we were all sort of at different levels. So I just started... Richardson was just probably gone full-time. Yeah. Mark Olver, another flatmate, who does the warm-up for this show.
He's in this very room as we speak.
You can smell him.
He is very funny, I must say.
Yeah, he's a very funny man. And then Russell was he was sort of headlining uni gigs, so there was this nice drip-down effect where if Russell couldn't do a gig...
Did you get cast-off gigs?
Well, what would happen is Richardson would get Russell's cast-offs, Olver would get Richardson's cast-offs, then there were probably about 10 other people, and then me, if none of them could.
So you'd have to watch them ringing round people saying, "Are you free? I've got to..." And then eventually they say...
Like the human centipede of...
If Olver had his way.
Yes.
But did you share a place with Mr Pemberton and Mr
with
Gattis?
Pemberton, yeah, not with Gattis. Oh, actually, for a while, yes, I did, with Mark as well.
Did you?
Different times, yeah.
While
and
you
I
were
remember
at
it
college?
being... Yes, after we left college, yeah.
Oh, OK.
I think the thing that saved us was that we didn't try to keep college going after college. You know, these people that don't want to let go of it and try to keep the band together, even though that you're no longer part of the college and you've left. So
Did stand-up interest any of you 3, or was it always
never,
about writing and character?
Acting and character, yeah. We could never do that. But yeah, when Steve and I lived in together, it was a kind of funny time, quite serious. We got a lot of work done. But I remember one running gag that never... There was no fruition to it, and it was a shame, because in about 1994, he wrapped a banana, a pretend shit, in a banana peel and glued it and left it on some fruit for whoever may one day come into our flat and say, "Could I have a banana, please?" We would sit and wait, and it never came off. It's annoying. God, so annoying. Imagine that every day of our lives, about 4 years,
A pretend shit.
yeah, in a banana.
Talk me through how he made it.
Oh yes, well we peeled it, and he was doing it.
So you were in on it as well?
Yeah, I was kind of. Well, I was half in on it, and he was like, "What's this?" And he said, "I'm just doing this thing where I will peel a banana." And what happened was, in the end, we abandoned it and unpeeled it for our own amusement, and it had all gone soggy and horrible.
Do you know what?
I had an image of him like hunting out for like healthy-looking friends, so he could come around. Do you want a bloody banana?
You need more smoothies made in your flat.
I know, that would have been it, yeah. We didn't have them in then, that was 94.
No.
People didn't do
Nutribullets,
smoothies.
no.
No one had a blender.
It was all Vimto.
No such thing then.
But you had a funny showbizy start, didn't you?
Yeah, my dad managed Wembley Stadium, so when I was a kid, that was pretty much my playground. The result is I'm never sort of that impressed by anything. I was spoiled so much as a child, it was ridiculous. And I remember specifically Eurythmics were playing, and sort of I'd have these triple passes, and I would be skipping around. I was dead cute. I had pigtails. I was adorable.
I just told you, triple A pass means access all areas. Yeah, trip A pass. See that?
Trip A, guys. Trip A.
How old were you when you were saying trip A?
oh, can you imagine how precocious that would be? Yeah. So you'd get them kind of, you'd stick them on, and then you could sort of go anywhere. But I remember specifically before they went on, Dad sort of took me backstage, and Annie was in her dressing room, and she was...
What were you going to say? She was in her toilet.
She was in her toilet, yeah.
Trip A, so... Got a banana skin.
Yeah, I think you'll find I can do what I like. And she was just so sweet to me. She was in the middle of doing her makeup in her big sort of in her dressing room, and I just sat on her lap and she just carried on. Like, I was small enough that it was adorable. If I was like 14, 15, and a moody teenager,
she probably thought she was having a breakdown. Just going, triple A. Oh God, there's a little girl in my room. You could have had so much fun, just freaking people out.
I did. It was very lucky. Basically, I would get to sit in like the Royal Enclosure to watch things, and I remember going to see Wham! The final, and half the members of Spandau Ballet were there, you know.
Which half?
Which half?
Gary or Martin?
I think it was Martin and Tony Hadley.
Yeah, Tone.
Tone, as he's known to you, Alan.
Great bloke, I know Tone.
What year was that, if you don't mind me asking? Well, OK, let's rephrase that. Did you go to the Freddie Mercury tribute concert?
No, I didn't. I think that was past. I think it was sort of...
86?
Oh, no. OK.
No, that was 91.
Yeah,
but you went to Live Aid in 85?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
So, amazing.
That was a good... That was a good performance by Freddie. I noticed your Freddie T-shirt.
My dad's a big fan of Freddie as well, actually.
Well, I've spoken to your dad about Freddie.
Quite a lot, haven't you? Extensively.
I think on probably too many occasions for his liking.
Yeah, he would... what's his best Freddie story? You could probably relay it better.
Penis cake.
Penis cake, there you go.
I think Freddie's 40th birthday at Wembley, and if you're Freddie, you can't just have an innocent-looking gatto. You've got to have a massive dick.
The interesting thing, Tinder Cake's actually my brother's Tinder name. I fucked that joke up. I meant to say it. I was so excited. I had a little joke in my head, but I forgot the
fatal flaw.
Although Tinder Cake's quite sweet.
Tinder Cake, but it's not as funny as Penis Cake, and now I look like a buffoon.
He was a man who wouldn't want run-of-the-mill stuff.
But it's the idea that he'd look at a run-of-the-mill cake and went, not interested. This is a wang on it, I'm not eating it. It's not...
Make it cock-shaped, my darling, he'd probably say.
He doesn't only eat things that are cock-shaped, does it?
So does it look like an actual cock? Like if you did a double take, you go, Jesus Christ, there's a cock on the table.
It was that big. Must have been big to serve lots of people.
Yeah, I don't think it was sort of scale.
So I must make a mental note, because I think we might have come across the title for this show. It must have been big to serve a lot of people.
Well, I'm not imagining it was... It wasn't like the size of a real penis.
And it would be erect. It wouldn't just be like some horrible shrivelled
husk.
So
it was...
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Standing proud.
Yeah.
Dipping into Alan's peccadillos quite disturbingly.
I've got an image of Freddie Mercury ringing up Mr. Kipling and asking for an exceedingly big cock.
Yes,
Good. see the rest of that wonderful episode, you can watch it now on UK TV Play. You can also continue listening for a few choice stories that didn't quite make the show.
There's a really good friend of mine called Will Hodgson. He's a brilliant stand-up.
Oh, yes, I know. Well, he is brilliant.
He's amazing. And also, what I love about Will, he's the kind of person that I sort of come from a very normal background. I was quite good at football when I was a kid. So when I sort of found stand-up, I sort of suddenly met all these interesting, sort of unique, eccentric people and loved it. And Will, I would never have been pals with him, and we're really good mates. He's got this pink mohawk, speaks like that, Reece, all right, man? I like big women and Care Bears. He's an interesting guy.
He really does like Care Bears.
Totally, of course I do, Davies. So we used to do loads of gigs. So I'd be doing like 20 minutes and Will would do the open spot. We'd sort of travel down and share petrol and stuff like that. And very often he'd sort of stay around our house because I couldn't be bothered to drive him back to his. So he'd sort of stay around Mum and Dad's house like when we were kids. And there was a spare room in my brother's bed. And my brother and Will didn't really get on. They're sort of diametrically opposed. Do you know what I mean? And there was these amazing moments. I just love it so much that Will comes downstairs and in the morning I go, "You're right." I go, "No, I'm not all right, man. Your creepy brother is staring at me all night." He's led there and he's staring at me all night. I didn't sleep a wink, man. Right. I was like, "Well, I'm sorry." "Yeah, you should be, man." And genuinely, sort of about 10 minutes later, my brother kind of comes in, like, "You're right." I go, "No, I didn't sleep a wink. Your mate was staring at me all night." So, genuinely, both been in the darkness. And I love it.
Eyeballing each other.
Yeah, and it's just... There's something so wonderful because they're so different, but the idea of them just sort of standing and not saying anything is kind of... Oh, he's amazing.
When we lived together, the guys, Russell and Mark and John, used to play a lot of FIFA.
Yes.
The computer game on a big projector, and they'd made...
It was Pro Evo, let's not be fools.
Sorry, Pro Evo... Footballing game, everyone. And we'd made a team of stand-up comedians, so you can, like, change their face, and we gave them all different names. So it was all circuit comics on this team. And one of them was Will, and they programmed it so that whenever the ball got passed to him, the commentator went, "Fatty." And then he came round to stay one night.
And nobody passed him
and no one passed to him. So this whole game where there's this one player with a pink Mohican or stood, "Why is no one passing to me?"
I would have been 17 and Mum wanted an allotment, so we were doing it. And it was "Oh, hello, my darling, it's me."
Yeah.
I found out today that it was kind of based on a sort of a true story. So
yeah, we just had a recurring bit in the radio series that links a lot of the sketches that was just a beep. "Hello, my darling, you're not there, it's me. I'll just leave a message for you, my love. You're not there, you're a big woman. You're good, you're big. You're not there, but you're good." And throughout, and we just progress. "Bloody hell, she's not there, she's big, she's not there, but she's good. Anyway, my love, you must be out, you're potting, I don't know what the bloody hell you're doing. Here's a call, love, you're never there, I love you. You're big, you're good, she's a big woman. My love, beep. Bloody hell, this is a fucking job. No, no, and it just went on and on like that. And yeah, are you even big? You're not big. You're not big. I don't even know if you're good. Are you even good? Bye, love, bye. And it was just that. But that was a genuine set of phone calls left on our answer machine when I lived with my friend Robert. To him, he was a man. Big woman was him.
Yeah. Right.
And it was his theatrical friend, Peter, that you would leave these messages.
About.
But do you know what I mean?
And he was just messing around. Yeah, well, not messing around, genuinely leaving these messages.
But the idea
But
that
that's
and then
funny.
and
That
it's hilarious, and then it's sort of you've got a mechanism through
Somehow
to
to
show
use it,
everybody.
yeah.
And
And
then
if you're able to, if that works, and it is funny, I would find it hysterical, but I thought, would anyone get it? But this did kind of, how was it in, right, let's just use it as answer machine messages throughout our... We used it so we could have turnaround time when we're doing our live show to do the costume changes.
Yeah.
And it was in there,
Just an audio
peppered.
thing.
And it wasn't funny to begin with, but when it came back for the fifth time, it was a grower, you know, and it's brilliant to
Was
translate
there a local
something.
shop for local people? I'm sure you've been asked that 50,000 times. But
Yeah,
there was.
Yeah, we went to a shop in Rottingdean. There was an old lady. Yes, can I help you at all? And she thought, like, 4 people going into a shop, then we must be going to kill her and rape her for her tiny little knickknacks, you know, some shells and a snow globe. Anyway, I just thought that's just such a funny thing, that insular thing of being so wary of... And we were polite, you know, it was me, Mark, Steve and Jeremy just went in, looked around. No, thank you, we're just looking. What do you want here? There's nothing for you here. And that was it, that was local stuff. And then we thought, well, the extension of that is they want to burn us in a ritual, like Wicker Man. So that was how we
That's
just
what I mean.
took it and stretched it.
But, you know, it's having a sort of a beautiful twist on an observation.
On a quite mundane thing, yeah.
Becomes...
Papa Lazaro was our landlord. He used to ring up, leave messages for Steve, and he'd ask constantly for... If when we moved in, Steve did all the dealings with the getting the lease of the flat. So he didn't know I existed. So hello, Steve. no, it's Reece. Steve there. no, I live here. I rent as well. I want to speak to Steve. I got this Hoover belonging to you. And then you read back, leave message. I got this Hoover. It's just a saga now.
That's the line.
And this is just a saga now. Became
oh my
part of
God!
The thing. That's such an obscure thing, but to think maybe we could use it somehow.
But thank you so much for that, because I have that moment. I'm sat with my mum and my dad and my sister and my brother, and when you do, it's a saga now. It's like the Howard family going, oh.
I want that.
And you know,
said at my wedding when I get married.
It's
I want my
saga
boyfriend to turn around and say, "You're my wife now."
Oh
Yeah. I just think
you're big, but are you good?
You're not good. Are you even a woman?
Yeah. And weirdly, I was saying to Reece earlier, whenever my brother calls me up, that's how he goes, hello, my darling, it's me.
It's good,
so it's part of my life.
Your life.
Yeah. It is, man. Is it sort of weird that your sketches and characters and voices become part of other people's daily parlance? So, like, you're my wife now. But that must be so odd.
You don't even know, I suppose, do you?
Yeah, I mean, you never get a sense of it until people tell you like that.
You sometimes.
I get the odd, are you local?
Richard Wilson, the poor man, the amount of people who've shouted.
I mean, one time, me and Steve were in...
Everywhere you go.
Steve and I were in Soho around the height of it. I mean, it doesn't happen so much now because it's nearly 20 years ago, by the way. Depressing. And
there's just a load of people realising how fucking old they are.
And we were in Soho and a man came up and said, "Excuse me, are you local?" And we said, yeah. He said, "Do you know where the Dominion Theatre is?" He genuinely asked it. Oh, right.
I love
Of all the people to ask.